Thanks for joining us here for this May 2025 energy update. I recently took a training course with Dr. Gabor Mate, about addiction and trauma. And it was a really, really deep and profound and beautiful training. And in it, he talked about how you need the right environment in order to grow, and was talking about the difference of genetics versus environmental aspects of trauma and of healing. And he spoke about how you can take an acorn and put it on his desk, and it's not going to grow an oak tree from his desk. And you can take an acorn and plant it in fertile soil, and it will grow into a beautiful, huge, deep, profound oak tree. And in our tarot message, the card from the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck was the Tree of Life. And it very much reminded me of the conversation that Dr. Gabor Mate was having with us. And I wanted to just take a moment and talk about that. We are all an acorn that has the ability to grow into a deep, wise, powerful, strong, empowered oak tree. But we have to put ourselves in the right environment. You can come with all the magic in the world inside of you, and believe me, you did. We all did. The unique frequency of who you are is medicine for the world. The world needs your uniqueness. But if you're sitting on a desk, your acorn cannot turn into an oak tree. But if you plant yourself, if you root yourself in fertile soil, and you tend to that soil, you water it, and you make sure that there's sunlight and nutrition in the soil, you will grow. You will grow. And so I think it's an opportunity for us in the month of May to really ask ourselves, is the environment that I have put myself in, or that I find myself in currently, the environment where I thrive? Is this where I grow? And if not, just remember that you can dig yourself up and plant yourself in a new spot. Sometimes it feels like it's impossible. It's impossible to dig ourselves up and to replant ourselves in a new place, a new space. Whether that is a different mindset, making an entirely different environment, whether that is a different job, whether that is a different relationship, whether that is a different physical location. We have the ability to put ourselves in more fertile soil. Sometimes that's a podcast. Sometimes it's a book. Sometimes it's a course. Sometimes it's a training. Sometimes it's a new journal. We all have the ability to turn into this beautiful, beautiful oak tree. And that's what we are meant to do. You came here as this unique frequency, this unique soul. There's no one else like you. No one. But an oak tree cannot grow when it's placed on a desk or a road. And sometimes those roads that have been created for us from our family of origin, from society, from our church, our school, our spiritual group aren't where we're meant to be. And if you think about paths in life, you don't see a lot of trees growing on the path, right? If you're walking in the woods and there's a path, there's no trees there. If you're walking down a back road, there's no trees growing on the road. And so just really ask yourself, have you put yourself on a road or a path in life that is well defined, right? It's clearly a path. But does it have the nutrients? Does it have the environment that is going to allow you to thrive? And yeah, it can feel scary to change jobs, to start a business, start a family, to move across the country or into the middle of the ocean on a boat. It can feel scary to leave partnerships, relationships, old ways of being in relation with yourself. Sometimes we needed to be on those paths for a period of time. There's nothing wrong with walking on a path that has been well walked on and laid out for us. But we have to know when it's time to step off the beaten path and find our own way in the world. Find our own place. Maybe it's a creative outlet. Maybe it's a new business. Maybe it's a family. Maybe it's a new way of seeing yourself and the world. Maybe it's a new home. Maybe it's a new job. But knowing when the time is right to step off of the pathway that you've been on, and to not make that mean that you somehow failed. That was the pathway that got you to the spot where you're ready to go out on your own and honor your authenticity and your uniqueness. That's a really beautiful spot to be in life. And so I just want to invite you to ask yourself, where am I on a path that no longer feels aligned? And what changes need to happen internally and externally for me to put myself in an environment where I can grow, where I can thrive, where I can expand? And then start taking aligned action towards that change internally and externally that puts you out in the middle of the woods or a field where you can thrive, where you can grow, where you can expand, where you can be this mighty oak tree that you were always meant to be. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and be here with us for this May 2025 energy update.